So I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Northumberland County Elections Board. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, for nation.
This time we'll ask for public input on agenda items only. Hearing and seeing none, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the December 3rd, 2024 Election Board meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, this is the election, right? All in favor, state aye. Or no, Megan, I'm sorry, this should be you.
It's okay. My apologies. I got
I'm
us out of
sorry.
order.
Let's start over. Nathan, read it over.
A motion is needed to
Who's running
approve and
this meeting?
dispense with the reading of the minutes of the December 3rd, 2024 Election Board meeting.
Are you motioning? And
That
then
motion?
I'll second it.
all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Yeah.
Motion is needed to ratify the following reports. It includes the certification of political parties for Northumberland County.
So moved.
Second,
Anything on the question? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries.
Under announcements, for February 18th, 2025 is the first day to obtain signatures for nomination petitions. March 11th, 2025 is the last day to circulate and file nomination petitions. May 5th, 2025 is the last day to register, change any information on voter records. May 13th, 2025 is the last day to apply for mail-in absentee ballots by 5 p.m. May 20th, 2025, all mail-in absentee ballots must be received in the elections office by 8 p.m. to count. This time, is there any old business? Hearing and seeing none under new business, the municipal primary, election director Phillips, would you like to give these dates? Sure. Thanks.
The municipal primary this year is on May 20th, 2025. The polls open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Offices to be elected are Common Pleas Court Judge, County Controller, Magisterial District Judge, District 832, the Pathonetary, Register Recorder, the Coroner, Township Supervisors, Borough Council, Mayor, Auditor, Tax Collector, Judge of Elections, Inspector of Elections, and School Directors. A specific list regarding each municipality will be available on the elections website once all the municipalities have returned the form to our office. The county certification, the following parties were certified in the county of Northumberland, Republican and Democrat. Petitions will be available for anyone interested in running for office in the 2025 municipal primary beginning February 14th, 2025 in the elections office during normal business hours. Petitions are not able to be mailed, emailed, or faxed. And actually, the petitions came in early, so they are available now. That's all we got.
Thank you, Lindsay. And I would just like to say, Lindsay, I've been over the office numerous times, and you do an outstanding job with Kathy and your itinerant staff that comes in to help out. I feel confident, and during the election time, all year long, I'm at ease with you guys with all the turmoil and commotion that has gone on around not only the state but the country with these elections. I think you're to be commended, you guys, for running the department the way it should be run. Thank you.
Is there any public input? Hearing and seeing none, Madam Chair.
May I make a motion to recess the meeting?
motion.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Northumberland County Commissioners on Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Nathan?
At this time, for the regular commissioners meeting, we'll ask for citizens' input on agenda items only. And hearing and seeing none, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the commissioners' public meeting minutes of Tuesday, January 7th, 2025.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels payrolls as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 1 in the amount of $731,123.14, and payroll number 2 in the amount of $833,272.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $5,294.59 from January 4th, 2025 to January 31st, 2025.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under announcements, a work session will be held on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. The next regular public meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, at 1 p.m. at the Administration Center located at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. The Northumberland County Courthouse, Administration Center, and related county facilities will be closed on Monday, February 17th, 2025, in observance of the President's Day holiday. The next prison board meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, at 11 a.m. at the Administration Center located at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. And I will also take this moment to add that the Redevelopment Authority of Northumberland County will be having their 2025 meetings for general purposes held on the second Wednesday per month, starting with February 12, 2025, and 6:30 p.m. in the Commissioners' Public Meeting Room, Northumberland County Administration Building at 399 Stadium Drive in Sunbury. This meeting is open to the public.
Nathan, one thing about March 4th, our next public meeting, that's my birthday, so anybody want to bring anything in for that day, I'd appreciate it. I wear an extra large. My pants are 34, 32, so.
And it is your 75th birthday, so we will, it is a special time.
No,
He asked for that,
you
right?
wish, you wish.
Okay, go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Nathan.
Okay, a motion is needed for the Commissioners to sign the state tax equalization voucher for transfers of real estate for the months of December 2024 as submitted by the Assessment Office.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, and transfers as item number 1 through 21.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following reports. These include the coal royalty report as submitted by the county engineer, the Tax Claims Bureau reported collections, and the monthly fiscal status sheets as submitted by the Weatherization Department.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the Northumberland County Commissioners to execute the Pennsylvania Emergency Management PEMA 2024 State Homeland Security Grant Program grant agreement on behalf of the 911 Public Safety Department for $459,736.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to appoint Commissioner Samuel Chickatano to the Northumberland County Recreation Commission for 5 years, beginning January 1st, 2025, and continuing through December 31st, 2029, or until a replacement is appointed, whichever shall come later, and this is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to grant permission to advertise the following. Notice as per the Pennsylvania Code Mental Health Procedures, Chapter 5100.81, involuntary examination and treatment. Let it be known that the Geisinger Medical Center facility located in Danville, Pennsylvania, has been designated by the Northumberland County Behavioral Health and Intellectual Developmental Services Program to provide mental health triage services for involuntary emergency examination and treatment. A request for proposals and RFP bridge replacement, County Bridge number 150 on T672 Lewis Township on behalf of the county engineer. A request for bids for general contractors for 2025 to 2026 fiscal year conditioned upon anticipated additional funding on behalf of the Weatherization Department. And request for bids for quality control inspector and energy auditor for 2025 to 2026 fiscal year conditioned upon anticipated additional funding on behalf of the Weatherization Department.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to appoint Brad Klebon to the CEDACOG Board of Directors for a one-year term beginning January 1st, 2025 and continuing through December 31st, 2025, or until a replacement is appointed, whichever shall come later. And this is a ratification.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
On the question,
I will abstain.
on the question, All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairperson to execute the annual renewal agreement with Brookside Landscaping from Shamokin for snow plowing and salting at the following Northumberland County-owned sites, which includes Northumberland County Drive and South Campus in Cole Township and Career Center in Shamokin for the 2024 to 2025 season in 3 installments of $7,766.67. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A motion is needed to amend the following policies of the Northumberland County Personnel Policy Manual. This includes policy number HS-3.0, telework policy, policy number WA-4.0, meal and break periods policy, and policy number WA-11.0, a flexible work arrangement policy. And this is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the Northumberland County Commissioners to execute a letter approving the use of $190,868.81 of American Rescue Act funds, ARPA, for the use of administration fees of county staff and administrators. This is a ratification.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to acknowledge or authorize the travel request and attendance at the following workshop seminars as in accordance with the county's personnel manual travel reimbursement policy as listed in the public meeting agenda.
So moved.
On the question, all in favor, state aye. Motion carries.
Motion is needed to adopt budget amendments as listed in the public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to authorize the Northumberland County Commissioners to execute the service agreement with NEPA Cleaning Professional LLC from Wyoming, PA to provide janitorial services at the Human Services Complex at a rate of $7,000 per month for the period of January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025.
Should say it's a ratification. It's a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
The question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion is needed to appoint Nicole Will to the Redevelopment Authority of Northumberland County for 2 years, beginning January 1st, 2025, and continuing through December 31st, 2026, or until a replacement is appointed, whichever shall come later. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, Solicitor's report, Mr. Garrigan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R02-25, Memorandum of Understanding between the County of Northumberland and Central Susquehanna Opportunities Incorporated to undertake Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD-funded housing projects in Northumberland County and for CETA Council of Governments Community Development Program to conduct environmental reviews. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Seconded.
The question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R03-25, the Board of Commissioners of Northumberland County, Pennsylvania, that the chairperson be authorized and directed to sign the attached letter of amendment for County Bridge Number 73.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R04-25, amending the compensation for tax collectors throughout Northumberland County to $2.10 per per county real estate tax bill in accordance with Section 36.1 of the Pennsylvania Local Tax Collection Law.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
It's my understanding that we will be tabling item number 7 on this, so. Motion to adopt Resolution R05-25, agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the named service providers as listed 1 through 6 and 8 through 14. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principals in their corporation or on their board of directors, with the exception of contracts with CSO, as Controller Grayson is a member of the CSO board.
So moved.
Seconded.
On the question, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
This time, is there any old business? Hearing and seeing none, we'll ask for new business. And another opportunity for public input.
Afternoon. Excuse me. I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, giving us this opportunity for speak publicly. I state my name, C.J. Grego. I live in Shamokin, city of Shamokin. And the reason I'm here is to just find some basic information about the tax increase and what's coming. I'd like you to tell me what that's all about. And then I have a question, and it's basically this. Our taxpayers locally, many of them have fixed incomes, live in fixed incomes, elderly people, cannot continue to afford these tax increases, both local and with the county. Now, I'd like you, the county, to provide me with a statement of revenue and expenditures, if you could, please, from last year and what's anticipated for this year. I don't know what's possible there budgetarily, and why these, to kind of go through the nuts and bolts of why these increases are necessary, up to the tune of 20% for us as taxpayers. Simply, we cannot afford these any longer. The cost of living has increased exponentially. Now, the federal government's looking to cut our taxes. I can tell you, I consider you to be a conservative board, and as such, I was a little surprised to hear of the tax increase, and not only the tax increase, but the size of the increase. I was actually shell-shocked to hear that amount. So I'll give you the opportunity. I've spoken here to respond to what I've said. I'll sit down, I'll listen. But again, anything you can do to help us as taxpayers, cost of living, everything has gone up, and it's becoming unsustainable. Thank you very much.
First, let me address number one, the 20%. I think a lot of taxpayers don't understand that is not 20% of their taxes that they pay at the bottom of their tax bill. That is a 20% increase only on one line of their taxes. Chris, correct? What was the name of that line? Because I don't have the information.
General.
It's only on the general fund. It isn't on the debt. It isn't on per capita. It's just it's not on the municipalities. Whatever they do is on their own. This is a 20% of usually the first line of the county tax. It's only an increase in one portion of it. And what I can say is the 9 years I've been here, in the 9 years, we basically have not raised taxes at all. I think there was 1 year we did, and it was a minimal amount in 9 years. What has changed from 9 years ago to now is our unions that we have and our negotiations with our people have, their salaries have increased tremendously since 9 years ago. For example, at 9 years ago, and I'll give you one, and again, I don't have that information here, but our prison guards were making like $12.50 an hour 9 years ago. Now, today, they're making $18.75 an hour. Yes. Very good question, because we have been in the past few weeks, and we're going to continue in the next month or so, come out with all the reductions that we have come up with in staff. We've been meeting with each department individually and telling them that we are going to be staff that's not necessary, just like they do in other governments we're looking at. And we will be having a meeting in the next month or so letting everybody know what we've been doing to try to get this. But the biggest increase, number one, besides the salaries, is our insurance, which from 9 years ago to now has gone up about $3 or $4 million. And that's our insurance on our employees. And the other thing, of course, is gasoline prices. We have almost 100 vehicles in the county. And the heating of our properties, we have, again, I have a list of all this. In the 9 years that we've been here, Chris, I'm not sure, I forget the number of mills that we've only raised the taxes, and that's a testament to the county being fiscal. I can't speak for the school districts, and I can't speak for the municipalities, but I know what we have done in 9 years. And we're hoping this, again, percentage of an increase only on one line, not on your entire taxes, is something that will make us be able to survive and meet our, you know, our I don't know if I say our goals, but what we need to do to keep our employees working and to keep our buildings going, to keep everything else going. So I have all that information. Again, I don't have it, but those are the reasons. And again, this is a one-time, this in 9 years, only raising taxes one time is really, I think, heroic to the boards that have been here for the past 9 years. I get that. I get that, and again, even anyone in their home have had these increases with insurances, with heating their houses, with gasoline, with the price of everything going up. But you know, and we want to take care of our employees, and we have been negotiating, and we get people. Citizens have come out and say, we're not paying these people enough and that, and we come to an agreement, so we're not overpaying, but we want to pay where it's equal to what other small counties around us are doing. But you made a statement that you don't deprive anybody of an increase. Let me just tell you, the 3 commissioners up here make $35,000 a year as compared to surrounding counties that make $80,000 a year. That's a big difference. So I'm sick of people in the paper coming, and not you, coming out and saying the commissioners, they want more money. We haven't given ourselves a raise in 9 years, and our salary is minimal compared to anybody else in this state. And that's one thing that I'm sick of hearing from anybody.
All I'm saying is the taxpayers are being asked.
Yes? Okay, well, these are from you, Chris? So these are some of the things Chris gave me. So we have, just so you're interested, when we're dealing with employees, so our county right now employs 560 employees. So think of 9 years ago till now, nobody wants the same amount of money. And you know, especially after COVID and during COVID, everybody got these big raises. How many in total employees? Okay, in 23. So we have 560. If we go back to, as the years go behind, we were at 657 employees. So we have been cutting employees each year. But we are making a push, and we've been meeting already with all the departments, and we're going to come out again in a month after we meet with anybody, because we don't want the departments to become that they don't have enough employees to do their jobs. But we do want to cut any maybe positions that weren't filled for a few years that are still on the books that we don't need. So we will be coming out, and I'm glad you brought that up, with something in about a month after, because we don't want to come out with something until we meet every one of our department heads, because we're not going to say, here's what we're doing at a meeting when they don't even know. So good question. We will be coming out with that. And I don't mind people coming in and asking. You're asking a legitimate question. But those are the reasons, you know, insurances, cost of everything, salaries. But when we do this with the cutting of departments, with people in the departments, we'll have a better answer. I wish I would have, if you would have came in, I would have been more prepared. But again, I didn't have any of the paperwork.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just so it's clear, in 2020, the county had 704 employees. In 2021, the county had 653 employees. In 2022, we had 657 employees. 2023, we had 611 employees, and now we're down to 560 employees. So there's been a cut from 704 employees down to 560 in the last 5 years.
So you've been seeing that, and I think when we come in this meeting in a month or so, we'll have another number for you to show that we're trying to do our part and trying to, you know, handle some of the burden too, because we don't want it on our taxpayers either.
It's not only about the number of employees, it's about you mentioned insurance.
Right.
There's other carriers that could give you a better rate or something. You know,
Well.
minimize all the costs as taxpayers.
If I may, every year, the county shops its insurance around every single year. We shop around to find the lowest bid.
Let me tell you, we put a committee together this year. When we first were told of our health insurance, it was going up 35%. And we put a committee together with 5 or 6 of Chris and some of the commissioners and people on it, our HR person, our chief clerk, and we did shop around. And I think we got our insurance down to like 17% of an increase. So I think we did a pretty good job from.
Got it down to.
Oh, there we go. So,
However, if I may, we also then went to a higher deductible plan, which got us down to 11.8% increase. So, and this was over a couple months of plenty of meetings to go from 35% down to 11.8%.
so these are good questions. And again, when we have this meeting in a month, we're going to bring all this out like we did before. But we are doing the things that you're asking us to do. We've been already looking into that, and we will come out with something in a month or so with a more of a cut of the departments. No, because we didn't meet with, we have so many different departments. We want to make sure we have each one of them in and explain to them what we're doing, and then sit with the number that they have on their staff, look at that number and where we think it can cut it. I don't know when that will be done, because I don't know how many departments we have, Chris. We have many departments. We met with 3 today. So I'm hoping that it's sometime in March. Well, it will be sometime in March. Let me say that. Well, we'll announce it, because it's going to be a special meeting. It will be a special meeting to do that, because we're going to have to do it with a salary board meeting. It won't be a meeting like this. It's going to be a salary board meeting, because we're going to be cutting positions. It will be on the county website. It'll also be advertised in the paper. And it will be sometime in March.
Also, too, you had asked about expenses, revenue and expenses. That should be on the county page. It's public information, and also if you don't see it there, you can just request at our office with a, yeah.
Very good questions. And again, that will be coming out. Just before we adjourn, I just want to mention, in the past couple of weeks, we had the passing of 2 of our former county commissioners, Commissioner Dietrich and Commissioner Zawicki. Those were people that, when I first started getting into politics, I got to know. I was elected in 2016, and they were before me. But Mr. Dietrich, a Republican, I remember going to meetings with him when I started to get involved with the Republican Party. And Mr. Zawicki was a Democrat. I know before I got in, there were times I met with him a few times. But both of these guys, I will say, from all I knew from them, they were very good people. They were very for the people of Northumberland County. They were people that supported the people. They were people that very fiscal responsible. They were nice guys. And I just want to mention, their passing. I think they brought a lot to the county when they did serve, and I think we were very fortunate to have them as commissioners. And I just would like to say our condolences as commissioners to their families and everything, because they were, I think the main thing I can say about them is both of them were very good people. Okay?
Can we have a moment of silence for them?
Sure, let's have a moment of silence for our 2 commissioners, Commissioner Dietrich and Commissioner Zawicki. Thank you. And again, they were good guys. They were good guys to deal with. Okay, thank you. Meeting's adjourned.